The Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, here's the daycare thing. Like, that's part of it. And then there's a bunch of people that don't exist that are getting Medicaid money.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and then there's autism diagnoses, right? So they self-diagnose as autism. They
Sure.
open up an autism center. They have a bunch of kids in the autism center. They get money for those kids. There's no autism. There's no kids. It's all fake.
Right.
There's also there's these fake scams where there was one that they uncovered in Minnesota where they were supposedly feeding an exorbitant amount of children and there was no kids.
Sure.
No one was going there, but they were saying they were feeding like 5,000 people a day.
Sure.
They didn't even have the capacity to feed 5,000 people a day. There was no food coming in there. But the
American
thing is,
dream, dude.
the politicians were getting so much money from these people.
Right.
Just from the Somali community that owned daycare centers. The Minnesota politicians were getting $35 million last year.
Is Tim Walton to blame for that? I don't know.
Well, he just stepped down from his reelection. That's not good. That's not good. When you were almost the vice president of the United States.
You know how many people came at me? People that I'm like thought I was friends with, like acquaintances, more maybe. But I now realize they were acquaintances. When I made fun of Tim Walz for going to China so many times, which let me not get this wrong. It's definitely more than 10 or something. That Tim Walz just went to China to go, which is, if you're gonna have gone to China that many times and then run to be the vice president, why would you hide it? Number one, why wouldn't you lead with it as this is one of our enemies. I know the language. Why wouldn't you either lean into it, make it, I'm an expert on it, and this is one of our big issues. The fact that we all pretended that he wasn't going to China. First of all, on what salary are you going to China every year? Was
he a politician when he was doing
this?
What's
your miles program? No,
well, I could see if you were a businessman.
He was a teacher.
He was a teacher.
He was going with kids. He was taking kids to China.
But I mean, doesn't that make sense though that you're taking kids on an international trip so they can learn about the world?
Only China.
Maybe that's his area of expertise. I'm trying to
But why not lead with it?
I've been to steel man it.
I know, me too. I do the same. Where I'm like, why doesn't he open with? I've been to China 35 times. I took kids there so they could learn Mandarin because they're going to have to interface with China later during business. It was just this thing where it's when someone else tries to hide something that I wouldn't have thought was untoward. I'm like, well, hold on. Now it's weird.
Right.
And why can't I ask a question about it? Whenever I would say, how many times did you go to China? Everyone's like, what? What? And I'm like,
well, here's the crazy one. When all the Somali daycare center came out, he started blaming white men for all the crime.
Sure.
What about white men? Well, he's white men with all the crime. He's trying that playbook. He's
like, what about me?
Woke playbook. Yeah.
What about me? I'm the criminal. I'm a white guy.
That's really what he's saying.
He's telling on himself right then and there.
What do you mean? He was basically trying to say that it's racist. But it's not. Facts aren't racist. Mm-hmm. It's just clever. Just if they did it themselves.
Mm.
If they did it themselves, if they were the ones that were perpetrating the fraud.
Sure.
The real problem is if they didn't do it themselves, who helped them fill out all those forms? Who helped them organize this? Mm-hmm. And is this a money laundering thing?
Sure.
And are they filtering this money into other people's accounts? Are they filtering into offshore accounts? Because supposedly, here's another one. Supposedly they were sending money on a regular basis back to Somalia, and they were catching them at TSA in Minnesota.
Sure.
See if that's true, Jamie.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, you guys. I mean, it's I guess also the other question is when all this is going on, I'm like, do I focus on this or are we going to war?
Well, you can only focus on so much.
I know.
That's the thing about the internet. If you want to get outraged, it's there to feed you.
Yeah, totally. And then
all day long.
Then once you click on something, they're just going to keep feeding you more and more of that. And I'm sort of like, is this as big of a story as my algorithm is telling me it is? Because I remember, and this is I think why it's more important than ever to be on stage as much as possible to just corroborate a premise to make sure that everyone even is aware of it, given our little echo chambers and stuff. But remember when Kamala Harris was giving speeches that it kind of seemed like she was shit-faced. It sort of seemed like she was slurring words or something.
Uh-huh.
Those were, that would come. And I was doing this joke about it before the election that was maybe this is what we need. What's scarier than a alcoholic woman with no kids? She can just be calling up Putin in the middle of the night, hey, faggot. She's just, and I was doing it. It was doing well. Everyone got it. And then I was somewhere in New York City, I think it was doing, and no one had seen that video. People were like, "What are you talking?" No one had any awareness of that, and it was kind of bone chilling, because I'm like,
well, she's probably exhausted, right?
Of
Here's
course.
the other thing: you're running around, you're doing so much. You're campaigning. You're constantly doing. If you catch me and I'm really tired, I sound like I'm on pills.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking, And then you're probably a little casual about everything because you're doing something. You're repeating the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
You're going to these places. You're fucking completely exhausted, or you're coming off of whatever they put you on to get you up.
Yeah, adrenaline, and it's also, I think that there's this old way of doing things where you could say the same thing on every platform and no one would cut it all together and
yes, that's it. Okay, here it is. I found it. Here, I'm gonna send this to you, Jamie, because this is apparently a legitimate source.
Well, I'm looking up the main source they said they got it from. It said Homeland Security officials told a source called Just the News. So I'm just looking up.
Well, this is the TSA.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, federal probe, hundreds of millions of dollars inspected Somali cash and leaving Minneapolis airport. It says that this is the source of this story. So I was just trying to
find out if it's a legit source.
What they were told. And
for sure, that money didn't just stay in the community. Especially if they didn't have the ability to organize this and develop this scam. Someone else helped them, and those people were getting money from it. So how were they getting the money? Were they getting the money in cash? Was it being sent and wired to offshore accounts? Like, how are they doing it? And it's clear that there's so much money missing. It's in the billions now. It's bigger than the entire GDP of Somalia, just from Minnesota, allegedly.
Wild.
The entire GDP of a country, one state's fraud is supposedly over the course of, X amount of days that they did this.
And is it true that the guy that uncovered it was kind of like some guy? Like it was
this
like
Nick Shirley kid?
Yeah, this like internet
young kid, yeah.
Good for him.
But I mean, there's the other question, like, did someone direct him towards this? Is this like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this like, did the Republicans set this up to try to expose it?
Yeah.
Is it him just being an independent journalist? He seems like a very smart kid. I've seen him. He was on Patrick Bet-David's show.
Yeah.
He's a virgin.
Why do we know that?
Because he's
talks
religious.
about it.
He talked about it. He said he was a virgin. He said they can't get him on anything. You can't get me on sexual assault. I'm a virgin. You can't get me on anything. NFL playoffs, let's go. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, makes every moment feel bigger. Postseason games shift fast, and with DraftKings live betting options, you can stay right in the moment. Plus, DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop bet goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. New customers bet just $5, and if the bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code ROGAN. That's code ROGAN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.